All right. Shalom, everybody, and peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice coming good and clear. Peace for those who love peace, and no peace for the wicked man, the Lord said. You know, we notice from time to time how the Muslims are so desperate to elevate their prophet. In one hand, they say that our book is corrupt. At the same time, they are desperate to find a word in our book to be used to elevate their false prophet. But the Muslims not only use that, the Muslims even they hire people who they are for sale. And I will give you some example. This person supposedly he is a Christian professor, and he is introducing Muhammad to you.
What the Quran, the scripture revered by the world's 1.7 billion Muslims, says about peace has never been more important. Yet very little attention has been paid to this crucial subject. In my book, Muhammad, Prophet of Peace Amid the Clash of Empires, I fill this gap. Let us picture the historical Muhammad, who was born about 570 years after the death of Jesus Christ, whom he saw as his predecessor. As a merchant from the small shrine city of Mecca in Western Arabia, he frequently traveled to cities like Jerusalem and Damascus in the Eastern Roman Empire.
You know, they claim that they knew history, but it's a big false statement. He just said that he traveled many times to Jerusalem. But anyway, we will go with the lies of, you know, he made a book, he want to make money. And as long he is praising Muhammad, he expects the Muslims will buy his book and he will get rich.
His trade would have been disrupted in the year 603 when the Iranian Sasanian Empire invaded the Roman Near East, kicking off a brutal...
He's a trade. He's a trade, you see? He's a trade. This is another lie. Muhammad never have a trade. He used to work for a woman, her name is Khadija, and later he made her father a drunk because he refused to marry her to him, for he is a trashy person. But look what this guy, he is trying to sell us. He knew all the history of Muhammad, when in reality, we have zero history of Muhammad. But let us continue.
26-year-long war. It was a time of both Christianity and paganism. Most people in the Roman Empire had embraced Christianity, but at the fringes of civilization, Bedouin and villagers still worshipped the old Arabian gods. Muhammad's hometown, Mecca, was the site of the Kaaba, a shrine to God. Some may have worshipped only this supreme deity, but most simply added him to a pantheon with pagan goddesses depicted.
See, here you see that this person is a false, he is a fraud. He is claiming that Allah is a supreme deity and he is a true God, and the others are worshipping pagan God. Here you know, you notice right away that this guy is not writing history. This guy is selling himself out to Muhammad and his gang. All the information he provides is absolutely false. Somebody again said in the text, Jesus is king. We keep saying, don't say that. You are insulting Jesus. Stop saying this is a stupid sentence. A stupid woman, hypocrite woman, she said that everybody is copying it. Jesus is not king. Why people are so stupid? Are you praising Jesus now? No, you are insulting Jesus. Trump is king. King Hussein is king. So you made Jesus equal to King Hussein? What does that mean? The Bible says he is the King of Kings. So stop being stupid. This is what happened when you listen to dummy and you copy the dummy. Nobody want to use his brain. Copy paste like worms. Did the Bible describe him? Did the Bible say Jesus is king? Where do you get this from? And then they get upset. They say, why you speak and you like you say you don't like what David would say. Because this is where they get those from. Candanis, David Wood, apostate prophet. You know, stupid statements. They are insulting Jesus. Once they say he is a Jew. Once they say Jesus is king. I mean, tomorrow we'll say he's a football player. So anyway, going back to our topic.
As his daughters. Arab custom respected a major shrine to a deity like the Kaaba as a zone of peace. Muhammad's clan, the Banu Hashim, were caretakers of the Kaaba and its pilgrimage.
This is another lie. You see, history written by the enemies cannot be a history. So Muhammad, he killed all his enemy, and now he claimed that everything belonged to him and his family. When we notice right away that even Khadija, she refused, according to Muslim books, Khadija family refused to marry her to Muhammad. So they are the caretaker of the Kaaba. Anyway, I'm not going to waste too much time, but in this channel, you will see a lot of false people who have no dignity. They are for sale. I am not sure. I am not sure who is behind this called the Project Center, but whoever behind him, he is making a lot of money trying to promote the garbage of Muhammad, and it have zero true information. So here they bring you a Christian professor. Here they bring you a Protestant priest or minister. Here they bring you a Catholic, but all of them, they share one thing: they are scumbags, liars, fabricators. They have no dignity. This guy want to tell you what Sharia is. Sharia, where if you a Muslim kill non-Muslim, the Muslim will not be killed. Sharia is if somebody insult Muhammad, we behead him. So I try to tell you that the law of Islam is a good law. But we know that this is not a law. This is a gang law. You have to worship Muhammad. You have to kiss his ass. Otherwise, we will kill you. So all those videos is sponsored and paid by who? I assure you, there is a big money behind it. What is the Quran? This guy will tell us.
What is the Quran? It is a set of 7th century revelations from God.
How somebody, he claimed to be a Christian, he said the Quran is a revelation from God. So why you stay Christian? Why you don't convert to Islam? Do you see how filthy, trashy they are? Imagine a Christian saying that the Quran is a revelation from God. If the Quran is a revelation from God, why you stay Christian? They are evil.
This is the true Christianity. The true Christianity says Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is a prophet.
In Christianity, it says Muhammad is a prophet?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Can you show me where it says that?
True, the true. In the Quran.
In the Quran, it says Muhammad is a prophet?
No, in the Quran it says Jesus is a prophet. No, alayhi.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you a Muslim?
Yes.
Can you say the prayer Al-Fatiha?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You want me to continue?
Yeah, continue.
I'm embarrassed going up in front of so many people to say my voice. My voice is not so bad in a revert, but
no,
you really want me to? I said.
Yeah, say it. It's only 2 minutes anyway.
It's as embarrassing. You're asking me to say in front of so many people, but because you want me to, I can do it. But in the future, if we have another conversation,
I want to be sure you are a Muslim, because there is many trolls. They come here claiming to be Muslim. I want to be sure that you are a Muslim. That's all.
All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawm ad-Din. Yanka nabudu wa yanka nasta'in nasrat al-mustaqim.
All right. That's good. That's good. That's good for me. That's good for me. What is the first sentence you said when you said Al-Fatiha?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Who is talking?
Allah.
Why Allah say in the name of Allah if He is the one who is talking?
Because He's saying that He is the one saying it.
What? If I am Christian Prince, why I want to say in the name of Christian Prince?
Because there are some things that kings and monarchs and people, at least when they introduce themselves with honorific.
Give me an example. I never heard of a king. He is in the present. He's saying in the name of the king. He is the king. So if he, and not only that, he is saying in the name of Allah. Allah is the name. So if Allah is talking, it cannot be.
I say in the name of Ibn Baltimore.
You can say that because you are speaking in the name of someone else. You are not him. But if you are him, if it is you, like if your name is Muhammad, can you say in the name of Muhammad, or you say start with the topic right away? What in the name of Muhammad you are speaking in the authority of Muhammad. In the name of Allah you are speaking in the authority of Allah. So obviously the one who made this prayer, he cannot be Allah. This is somebody, he is fabricating a prayer saying in the name of Allah. There is no way I am talking, I say in the name of Christian Prince. I am Christian Prince.
But the thing is that you have to remember that the Arabic language does not function like most languages, because it is the thought of Allah.
Like are you specialist in Arabic language?
No.
So how you know that what you say to me is true? Where do you get this from?
Because
that Arabic language function differently. What do you mean?
You know Sheikh Ahmed Musa Jabril.
Who?
Ahmed Musa Jabril.
Who is this guy?
Very, very great scholar. He says this in one of his lectures.
Well, so who cares? I mean, can you show me the proof in the Arabic that Arabic function differently?
Go to your computer. He has an article on this. Go to Google.
Can you invite him here? Can you invite him to talk to me?
I don't have his phone number. I've never met him.
Can you contact
YouTube scholar.
Can you contact him?
I don't. I can go on the Instagram and do it. But
okay. Well, anytime I will be happy if you can invite him. But listen carefully. There is no language in the world have different function when it's come to this. When you say in the name of someone, that means it's not him talking. So obviously this is a fabrication.
I don't believe this is true.
Same time.
No, I think.
Okay, hold on. Allah, if Allah is the one who is talking, Allah is saying, "You alone we worship."
He's saying it from the perspective of us.
No, is he talking, or you are talking?
Imagine you say that I am the coolest person to have ever lived.
No problem, but you have to say in the beginning. You have to say this. Like they asked Jesus, they asked Jesus how to pray. He said, "Say this, our Father art of heaven." Here, do you see anywhere it says pray like this? Say this? No. In the name of Allah.
Because it wasn't revealed only by one thing. It was also revealed with commentary by scholars and so on. So basically,
so the Quran was revealed by commentator, not by Muhammad?
Both. He transmitted knowledge to a commentator.
Oh, so you are saying the scholars is the one who made this prayer?
No, I never said. I said that the scholars narrate different things they learned that go back with the book.
I know. But who is the one who mentioned this? Focus with me in this prayer now. So if Muhammad received this from Allah, and then Allah saying this, it is you who we worship, that does not make sense. This must be someone praying to his God, not God praying to himself.
Have you ever bought a laundry machine?
What?
Have you ever purchased a laundry machine?
Yeah, I have a laundry machine. And?
Okay. You know, on the instructions, it will say, do this, do that. But they know that the person who wrote those instructions didn't necessarily do these things. He meant it for you. I don't know if you read the instruction manual.
No
But
problem.
if you read
But
it,
still, the
wrote it
instruction, it says you should do that. Where here it says you should do this and that. Where? Show me.
because it was revealed with the commentary. The commentary is like the
No, the
instruction
comment, there
manual.
is no, you are making things up. The commentary revealed by Allah now?
Of course, all of the correct commentary was narrated all the way. It is
Okay, give me the
Tafsir
name.
al-Nabi.
Give me the name of the commentary revealed by Allah. Go ahead.
You have to see which one is correct. You have to look, you have to debate, but you have
No,
to
you tell me. You
realize
tell me. You are the Muslim. You are the one who just said to me that the commentary, the interpretation of the Quran revealed by Allah. Give me the name of the one who received this interpretation.
all the way it would be Al-Qurtubi.
So Al-Qurtubi must be a prophet then.
No, he was narrating information from a prophet.
Okay, according to Al-Qurtubi, in chapter 86, verse number 6 and 7, the sperm of the woman come from her brain and from her hands and from her feet. Do you agree with that?
Of course.
Oh, you really? The women have a sperm coming from her hands?
Yes.
Okay.
The sweat. What do you think the sweat is?
Huh?
The sweat. What do you think the sweat is?
No, I'm talking about the sperm, not the sweat. Sperm. You know what sperm?
No, what?
Sperm is a semen. When a man have orgasm, there is a white liquid come from his private part that is called sperm. So according to Al-Qurtubi, women, she have a sperm.
I don't understand. Explain again. I don't understand.
You do not know what's a sperm.
No.
What is your language?
My original language.
Uh-huh.
I don't say because I don't want maybe the Interpol, they go and they find me. I don't want.
You are the one who killed the ant?
No, what ant?
Your aunt?
No, I never kill ant. No.
Cockroach?
No, I never kill a cockroach.
Well, you cannot kill yourself.
If you guess accurately, I tell you true.
Okay. Well, it's for 2 seconds. Otherwise, I will throw you out of the stage.
I'm being serious.
So
I'm being serious. I asked you to explain.
Okay, sir. Are you saying you do not know what sperm is?
My English is not so good. I don't know.
Okay, when you have sex with your wife, what comes have a semen, and it's coming from her brain and her legs and her feet and her hands.
It's possible that this is something that the scientists do not know yet. Like for instance, many of the scientists, they don't know the gods, things like this. Maybe it's a mystical type of meaning.
Okay, I see. All right. Well, nice to meet you, my friend. You are very smart and intelligent. Do we have any Muslim here? Omar will come and mob our teacher. Okay, Omar, let us invite you. Let us see your skills, Omar. Come, Omar, I just invited you. You said you want to mop the floor with me. One second. Okay. Well, let us see. Once I was debating a Muslim, he says, you want to go to the bathroom for 1 second. That was like 15 years ago, never come back. But anyway, it might be really 1 second, you never know. Any Muhammadan would like to join us? So going back to our topic, the Muhammadan, they are spending a lot of money trying to promote false narrative about Islam.
All I wanted was a haircut. But the moment I walked into the barber shop, someone teased me by saying, uh-oh, 5-0's in the building. Soon I was talking about matters related to the police force, with the barbers, a pastor, a young man, and a community leader. As it turned out, the conversation...
Oh, hold on. Omar, by mistake, I took you off, sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Omar. What do you want to say to us? Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, hello. You are a Muslim, Omar?
Yes, I'm Muslim.
All right. Why the Shia they hate Omar?
For multiple reasons, political reasons. I want to talk about the topic you were speaking about with a brother of mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so when you're speaking about the third person POV in the Quran, does that mean that Allah is speaking to someone else or speaking about himself in the third person POV?
Well, no problem. It can happen. But here, when Muhammad he received Quran from his God, Allah usually in the Quran he says to him, "Say." Did he say to him, "Say"? I can show you.
I have. Sir, the say is either answering an argument or teaching people how to say something. That's one. You didn't answer my question also. I said when Allah is talking about himself in third person, which is a clearly known thing in the
All right.
Quran and
So
Islamic
third
language.
person. Why he
Does
chose?
that mean that he's speaking to someone else?
Why he chose third person? Is that because he is a
This is
person
from the eloquence of the
who
Quran.
believe in the Trinity? Maybe.
This is also from the eloquence of the Quran. For example, we have the poetry, Sha'r al-Haja. I don't know if you know this because you're ignorant on the Arabic
Okay.
history.
All right.
Sha'r al-Haja is basically for example, the diss track in poetry, and 95% of it is the poet speaking about himself in the third person. This is just the eloquence and the style of language. It's also used in Matthew. Matthew speaks about himself in third language. Does that mean there are two different Matthews?
I say to you, it's possible, but here you are talking about your God, and you said he prefer. Look, read with me carefully. You mentioned that he speak as a third. He speak as a third person, but I don't see a third person here. Secondly, I see that Allah he chose in three names to introduce himself. Three. So you mentioned three person, and Allah introduced himself with the three names. So why he stuck with number three? Go ahead.
Yeah, again, I will answer your question, brother. I will just mention the fact that you're not answering the question. You're just saying, "Oh well, either or it's possible or no." That's not the answer to the question.
No, I'm just asking why. I'm just asking why. You have the freedom to answer as you wish.
I will answer your question, sir.
Yeah. So
I will answer. If you would let me finish.
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. So I said that Allah is speaking about Himself in the third person POV. That doesn't mean there's a third person. Again, sir, I think you're weak in the English language. I was saying he will speak about himself in the third person.
Okay.
For example, saying Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
All right.
This is divine revelation bestowed upon the Prophet to start every single surah. It's Allah speaking about himself in the third person.
No, this is not true. It's not in every single surah. You do not know your book.
Can I debunk you, sir?
Yeah. Can you show? Can you show me? Can you show me Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim in chapter number 9?
Yes, you are right. In chapter number 9, it doesn't.
So you are wrong. Okay. Thank you. So now
I am wrong, but I understood your question wrong.
All right. So listen. You said Allah he speak about himself third person. No problem. We will let that go. But how Allah he claimed that he is the best of the creators?
Yeah, because there are two examples for this. Is that we are also creators, but we can create from nothing. Our creation is limited. But because Allah is not like unto us, He creates, for example, from nothing. He has the ultimate creation. And the second explanation is that Allah is answering different gods, which is also read in the Athar al-Tabari. That, for example, the Hubal or the other deities that they worship and deem as creators, that Allah is the best of them and that they are nothing in comparison to Him.
Well, first of all, if you are saying Allah is comparing himself to us, he have to be one of us. Because if I am, you said that
I didn't say he was comparing himself to us.
You said that we are creators too.
So I said we are creators, as in we can put things together.
No, that is not a creation. That is not creation. In religion, creation is what your God Allah He decide. Your God Allah, Your God, Allah.
Can I show you from Lisan al-Arab, sir?
Yeah, I can show you from the Quran which one is more strong.
No.
You can show me. You can show me from any lisan you want. But this is your Quran saying, giving definition. Your Quran giving definition that the one who can create a fly is a creator.
Sir, creating in Arabic, for example, like Ibn Mandur, can be also put things together. This is creation.
In religion, that is not accepted. This is, you can say something in normal language, but let's come to religion. The second we say Khaliq, we are talking about God, divine.
Exactly. Khaliq is not,
Okay. So if I say Khalaqtu, I am claiming to be a divine. If I say I Khalaqt. In Arabic we say Sana'a. We don't say khalaqa.
No, we don't say that. This is
show me a sentence in any scholars of Islam. He says, Ana khalaqt. Go ahead.
So if I show you that khalaq can mean also to put different things together.
No, you can make things as you want, but show me from your books. A Muslim scholar, he claimed that he is a khaliq, and he is talking about making a bicycle. Anything.
Yeah, this does mean that according to the Arabic language.
So you are saying to me you cannot find one person who is famous in Arabic language. He used the word khaliq to describe himself, because if he do that, he will be killed, and you know that. He will be killed if he claimed that to be khaliq. Secondly, you know, I thought Allah in the Quran forbid you to compare him to others. So how himself he say he is the best of the creators? Listen, the verse talking about what? The verse talking about what? Talking about creating a human being, correct? Creating human being. This is what the verse talking about, correct?
It doesn't have to necessarily talk about this.
No, it's talking about this. It's in front of you. So when Allah he says he is the best of the creators, that means there's many creators who create babies, but Allah is the best of them. In order for me in any language, including Arabic, if I say I'm the best, I have to be the best from the same kind. So the best student, there's many students. If you are the only student, I will give you the mic. If I am the only student, then I am lying, because I cannot say I'm the best student when I am the only student in the classroom. The mic is yours.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So I have here in front of me Ibn Mandur in Al-Ma'ani. It says خلق الثوب. Talking about people creating a thawb, which is like, you can say a galabiya or like a piece of cloth. خلق الثوب. And it then literally after this it says where is it? One second. خلق الله الإنسان أوجده من العدم. This is the ultimate creation that is only ascribed to a God, that is the divine creation. خلق الثوب الإنسان والمفعول مخلوق. خلق الثوب بلي.
All right.
Meaning that he, wallahi,
it says here. So how we know here? Maybe Allah here is saying he is the best. He is the best creator for clothing. Are you saying that?
No, it's not the best of creator for clothing. I made a distinction in meaning, because
you said it mean that too. You said everybody heard you.
No. You said it doesn't mean that you put things together.
No, you cannot, because when you speak about the blood and flesh, it's about creating life. This is thank you. So in Islam, there is one creator or there's many creators.
Yeah, there is many creators, as in we can put things together, but there is only one ultimate creator that
you said to me that Allah created a human being from Adam. Can you translate what Adam is?
That's not what I said.
What is Adam?
When did I say that? I said, Wallahi, I think you have problems tracking, sir. It says in Ibn Mandur, Lisan al-Arab, a guy that can teach you.
No, I know, but you said you mentioned the word Adam.
Sir, I'm speaking. خلق الله الإنسان means God created man, and then he says معناه خلق أوجده من العدم.
Exactly.
But
So,
then
so why you are repeating? I just asked you what Adam mean.
Adam means nothing.
Thank you.
Absolute nothing.
But was Adam according to the Quran created from nothing?
Yes.
That's a lie.
So yeah, he was created from nothing, sir.
No, he was created from mud.
Yeah, but the mud that he was created from, was it created from nothing?
Well, you just said Adam was created from nothing. You see, if I say I created Adam from nothing, that means there was nothing. But if it is you who say it, that if I put things together, that is a creation. So Allah, according to you now.
So was Adam's soul created from nothing?
First of all, Allah never created the soul of Adam.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
So when Allah makes a comparison
let us read together. Let us read together. So when Allah He says, فَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ, and He used the word ruhana. Do Allah have soul?
Yeah, it can be also referring to life. Allah has life.
Where is life is coming from? According to Muslims, the ruhana is Jibreel. Is that correct?
Jibreel.
All right. So Allah did not create Adam. He did not give him his soul. The soul is taken from Jibreel, according to your religion.
That's not what it says.
It's you who said to me a second ago, guys. You said that Allah, He breathed into Adam from Jibreel. So who is the one who gave life to Adam? Jibreel, not Allah.
So yeah, again, the soul was not created by Jibreel. It was only blowed into Adam by Jibreel.
All right. Hold on. No. Where it says blowed in Adam by Jibreel. Can you show me the reference?
I can't finish the sentence.
All right, good. I will be waiting for you.
I was affirming what you said, sir. You just have problems with tracking what you just said. You said he blew the spirit into Adam. That doesn't mean he created the spirit of Adam.
No. You said it is Jibreel. You said it is Jibreel who blew. He blew. Can you show me the reference that Jibreel is the one who blew?
Christian Prince.
Show me the reference. Show me the reference. Okay.
So when Allah says that فَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحَنَا, it means that either it's Jibreel or Allah is talking about life, because ruh can mean multiple things. For example, Iman, even in chapter 58. So life can be also referred to as ruh. And when Jibreel blows this into creation, like Jesus.
Again, I'm asking you for reference. You are giving me speech. In the Quran, in chapter 38, verse number 72, it says, when I fashioned him, I breathed into him. Who is the one who breathed? Jibreel or Allah?
I wouldn't know if you would pull up the tafsir. Pull up the tafsir, let's see.
You give me the tafsir. I'm talking to you to give me the tafsir. You tell me pull out the tafsir. You tell me. Give me the answer. Who is the one? Are you following Allah? Or you Muslim, you follow your monks?
No, it's literally in front of you. That's why I told you pull up the tafsir. What's the surah?
No, you see the tafsir of the Muslim didn't agree upon it. Muslims disagree. The Muslims disagree about tafsir. If I put tafsir for you, you will cry. You will say I don't accept. Okay, I want you to give me the name of a tafsir you accept.
I didn't give you an answer.
Can you give me the name of the tafsir you accept?
Yeah, you are in the burden of proof. What's that?
No, in front of me, I prove what I say. It says that Allah, He said in Arabic, فَإِذَا سَوَّيْتَهُ وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ. And when I fashioned him, who fashioned him? Allah. I breathed into him. So I gave you the proof. Now you are saying to me that the tafsir will say the opposite. Will say Allah is not the one who breathed.
Sir, I just was asking you for the name of the surah.
This is the chapter 38, verse number 72.
72. من عيون لحظة.
Can't you see it in the screen? I'm showing it you in the screen.
No, I want to pull up the tafsir.
All right.
Not all knowledgeable. تفسير الطبري. يقول الله تعالى ذكره هذا الفعل هذا يفعل ما وصفت لكم في هذه الآيات هو علم الغيب. علم الغيب يعني عالم ما يغيب عن أبصاركم أيها الناس فلا تبصرونه مما تكنه الصدور وتخفيه النفوس وما لم يكن بعد ما مما هو كائن. Wait, let's skip to the part where he says اختلفت القراءة في قراءة ذلك فقرأه بعض قراء مكة والمدينة والبصرة أحسن كل شيء خلقه بسكون اللام وقرأه بعض المدنيين وعامة الكوفيين أحسن كل شيء خلقه. Yeah.
What are you
بفتح
reading? What are you reading?
I'm reading الطبري تفسير
My
الطبري.
friend, this is not what At-Tabari is saying.
Can I show you?
Okay, show me.
Yeah, so pull up.
Are you reading verse number 72 or 29?
72.
All right, okay. Okay, 72, you are right. Okay, continue. I thought you are reading verse number 29. All right.
This one الطبري was.
All right.
والصواب القول في ذلك عندي أن يقال إنهما قراءتان مشهورة عمرات interesting القراءة. قال أما إن أسدت القرد ليست بحسنة ولكن أحكم خلقها. أحسن الذي أحسن أعطى كل شيء خلقه ثم هدى أحسن وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين ثم جعل نسله من سلالة. What part were we speaking about?
My friend, until now you did read the whole page, you got me no answer. Who is the one? Who is the one? Who is the one who fashioned the mud and breathed into the mud?
Yeah, sir. What part of the ayah were we speaking about? That's what I was asking.
The question is simple. It says, I fashioned him, I breathed into him. Who is talking? Who is the one doing it?
Allah.
Okay, great. So why you say to me, Jibreel?
I said that when it refers to ruhana, نفخنا فيه من روحنا, it can also mean Jibreel.
Okay.
For example,
so the one who created Adam, not Allah alone. So Jibreel is the one who.
Adam.
Yeah, this is what you are saying. Allah, he fashioned the mud, and then Jibreel, he blew into Adam. This is what you said to me in the beginning. You forgot 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I said that Jibreel didn't have any part of creating in Adam. It was all Allah.
You said to me the one who blew is Jibreel. Okay, if the one, so Jibreel, he is the spirit, and Jibreel is the one who blew, and Allah is the one who fashioned. So Adam was created by two, not by one person.
No, this blowing is not an art of creation. Can you show me this?
No, this is the creation. How the creation is done? Allah telling you the creation. How Allah created Adam. In fact, the blue is more important than the mud, because I can make mud too. My friend, I can make mud. I can make mud. I can fashion a human being. The museum is full of them. Anyone can fashion mud, fashion marble, but we cannot blow into it and give it life. So if the one who gave the life to the mud is Jibreel, that means Jibreel is the God in Islam, and Allah is nobody. He's just a kid playing with the mud.
So why are you blaspheming, sir?
I'm not. I'm just telling you what it is.
Can I say that your God has a penis?
Well, my God have a penis. Are you saying to me your God is a female?
Yeah. Is your God a penis God, sir?
Well, my God, I have a penis. Your God don't have a penis?
Yeah, so my God doesn't have a
Okay, you open this topic, no problem. So Allah, he called himself he. Listen to you. Allah, he called himself. Allah, he says, how can I? Hold on. Allah, he says, how can he have a son yet he don't have a girlfriend? So Allah is lying. He don't have a penis anyway. So why he is saying? How he is saying he cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend? He should say, I cannot have a son unless I have a penis.
So again, in Surah 34, you won't let me answer.
You are the one who changed. You are the one who changed the topic. It's not me. So when Allah says, how can my friend, how can he have a son if he don't have a penis? Is that true? Allah don't have a penis.
So again, I'm speaking. If you would let me finish speaking.
But I wanted to, this comment you made, I want you to cover it.
I will answer. I never ran from your questions like you ran from mine.
Okay.
I never thought, oh, maybe it's a possible. Oh, well, maybe. You know, I made an entire argument out. Maybe it's a
Okay.
possibility. Your arguments are recycled. They were debunked, sir.
We,
Again,
we will
when
see. We
Allah
will
said,
see. People are watching. People are
look,
watching. They
I
will be.
can finish
They will be the
I
judge.
can finish the sentence.
Okay.
So you said, oh, well, come up, come up. I took like 15 minutes of my life to come to talk to you, which is irrelevant, wallahi. I was trying to finish a sentence. A sentence.
We
I
are having.
said, when Allah says,
Don't play victim. You talk. I talk in the same time. Did I mute you? No. We are having a conversation. So imagine we are sitting in front of each other. Like, do you have to shut up forever until I finish? We are having a conversation. So now you look how many
exactly.
look how many
Can
mistakes
you
you
let me
made.
speak in this conversation?
Look
By
how
the way,
many
you're having a
problems.
debate.
You created tons of problem for Islam. According to you, the creator is not Allah for Adam. It was Jibreel who gave the spirit and the life and the soul to Adam. Allah just fashioned the mud. So there is two creators. And then you said to me, trying to insult, okay, well, your God have a penis. Well, my God, he become a man, not the man become God. So my God become a man, and the man, he's a perfect man. According to your religion, the Holy Spirit have a
Lie.
penis.
He was a liar.
According to your
According to your
religion,
religion.
is the Holy
It's not
Spirit have a
perfect.
penis? Yes or no?
So according to your religion, the
Then
Holy Spirit
I'm
actually, they
asking
just
you,
said,
according to your religion,
yes.
is the Holy Spirit have a penis? Yes or no?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
No,
According to your
no, you are a
religion,
liar.
the
You are a liar. Let me get
Catholic,
you
yeah,
busted.
what?
Isn't it the
You
Holy?
wanna
Isn't it the Holy Spirit
you're
appear
sure,
to
you're sure,
Mary? Appear to
you're sure,
Mary as a
you're
perfect
sure,
man? Did the
you're
Holy
sure.
Spirit in the Quran appear to
Yeah.
Mary as a
So
perfect
would
man?
it be blasphemy? Would it be blasphemy to say that the Holy Spirit had sexual intercourse
I'm
and took
talking
on a
about.
human body?
Listen, this is your religion, not mine.
Would it be would it
This
be
is
a
this is
blasphemy?
your religion,
Yeah.
not mine.
Would it be blasphemy, sir?
In my religion,
No, but
the Holy
would it be
Spirit is a
blasphemy?
spirit, is not a
I'm
physical
granting
being.
your
In
position.
your
I'm granting
religion,
your position.
in your
Yeah,
religion,
Habibi,
the
I'm
Holy
granting your
Spirit,
position.
in your
Would
religion, the
it
Holy
be
Spirit came as a man. Yes or no?
would it be blasphemy to say that the Holy Spirit came as a man and had sexual intercourse with
This is
Mary?
yes, in your religion. You said that.
Okay, perfect. So now he made anathema on the Chaldean Catholic Church because they say تجسد الروح القدس.
Ah.
In علم الله, yeah. Look it
Okay,
up right now.
let me get you busted. Let me get you busted.
Yeah. Look it.
The Holy Spirit came down
Look
as
it
a
up.
dove. This is
You
what you
just
are
spoke
talking about.
anathema on the church.
Just
Wallahi, you
don't
just spoke.
listen. Came down as a dove. This is a chapter in the Bible. When
No
Jesus
problem.
get
So according to
baptized,
the
did not come as a man and have sex. You are making things up. You are
so
making
why
things up. Even Jesus never have
is
sex. So listen, even
is
Jesus the
علم
man never have
الله.
sex. So I'm asking you.
I will give you
You
two
keep
sources.
running away. You are trying to escape the disaster you created. So now look
والله
what
I'm not
happened.
escaping.
Jibreel,
Again, I was
Is the
granting you
one who created
freedom.
Adam. Guys, be my witness. Jibreel created Adam. He is the one who blew into Adam.
Jibreel didn't create
Allah
Adam.
just fashioned the
Listen,
mud. Allah don't have a penis. Yet Allah don't have a penis. Yet Allah in the Quran lie, say, how can he have a son if he don't have a girlfriend? So if Allah don't have a penis anyway, why he is lying saying he need a girlfriend so he can have a son? He don't have a penis anyway. What
Look at your boyfriend blasphemy.
what the wife will do if I have no
Look,
penis?
look at
If
him
I
now.
have no
He's
penis,
scared to let you
why
speak.
I need a
Wallahi, he
wife?
will
Because
say,
you are trying to
I
escape.
told you I was not
You jump to
controlling
the
you.
Catholic, you jump to the Chaldean, you jump to those because you're trying to escape the
Look,
embarrassment. So
you
please
spoke
answer me.
anathema on
Do
two churches,
Allah
the
listen,
Orthodox
listen.
Church and the
When,
Chaldean
uh,
Catholic Church. You spoke anathema on your brothers because you're ignorant
listen.
teachers.
I get you busted.
Almillahu,
I
Volume
get you
3, page
busted. You are a liar.
406,
Okay,
is that
in
the
front of
Holy
everybody.
Spirit
I want you to show
took
me from
on
the
a human
Chaldean
body.
church. They say the Holy Spirit came and
Okay.
have sex. Go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So again, I will give him two sources. The first one would be the Chaldean church that he spoke anathema on. I will read him what they say, and he will translate it. Wallahi, if you lie. Look, I'm gonna clip this here.
Give me the link for what you are
Look,
reading so we
I
can
will
laugh
give
at
you.
you.
Stop
Give me
speaking.
the link for what you are reading so we can laugh at you. I challenge you.
Stop speaking. So I'm
No,
pulling it
you
up.
have to give me give me the reference so we can laugh. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let's 1 second. Pulling up your brief right now. Let's go.
All right.
التعليم المسيحي
Give me,
للكنيسة
give me the
الكاثوليكية.
link so we can laugh. Go ahead.
This
Give me the
is-
give me the
this is-
link. Give me
I
the
don't have-
link. Give me the link. I will put it in the screen.
I have the scan. I don't have the link.
You are a liar. You are a fabricator.
والله I'm not. It says
Okay, give
it's
me the
called
okay, give me the
التعليم
reference. Give me the reference. Give me the reference.
Yeah,
Then.
I'm giving you the reference. التعليم المسيحي.
There's no such a thing. It's called reference. The Christian teaching. I never heard of such a reference. Listen. Listen. You are a fabricator. You are quoting from Muslim stupid website. You have no
What's
reference.
wrong with you? والله
You are. Give me the link then. Give me the link.
I don't have the link. I have the PDF.
What do you mean by the F?
يا حبيبي, I have the scan.
Okay, the PDF. Hold on. Listen. You can post the PDF here. Post it here. PDF.
Yeah, I will post it. Give me big access.
Okay. Huh?
Give me.
Okay.
Give me pics.
Give me the name of the PDF. I will search it online. Give me the name of the
Give
PDF.
me
Type the PDF name. I will search it online.
تعليم المسيح
Listen.
الكنيسة الكاثوليكية الجزء الأول.
There's no such a thing. There's no such a thing. Listen, Abdul. There's no.
يا حبيبي.
Okay.
يا حبيبي.
Listen.
مش الناس دول.
Okay. I can type right now تعليم المسيحي. I will find a billion trillion websites. Listen. You are making things up. There's no Catholic in the world. You are claiming. I want you to swear by Allah. Hold on. I want you to swear by Allah. Listen. I want you to swear by Allah. Shut up. Listen. I want you to swear by Allah. I want you to swear by Allah that in that book it says that the Catholic, they say that the Holy Spirit have sex with Mary.
والله it says this.
All right. Muslims are allowed to lie, and you are a big fat liar, because we know anyone can go right now in Google. The Bible, the whole Bible, the Catholic number one word they say about Mary is the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary. And you are saying to me, the Catholic, they say that Mary, she is not a virgin?
It's an honorary title, just like it was given.
Yeah, you're just a fraud, my friend. Shame on you. Anyone can go right now. Anyone can go. Listen. Okay, listen.
Eve was named the virgin.
Listen. So
Eve was named a virgin.
Mary is a virgin or not?
Eve was named a virgin. It's an honorary title.
Eve was a virgin.
والله she was named. Look, التعليم. Here, I'm gonna bury you. Wallahi, you're just shivering to get the scan. You told, oh, pull up the scan. Now you don't want it anymore.
Listen.
Here.
According to your religion,
I'm gonna give it to the chat that you are deceiving right now. You're lying.
All right. Look what you are trying to do. You are trying to escape all the embarrassment. How many embarrassment you did to yourself?
So what does تخصيب mean?
تخصيب?
If I say your father خصب أمك, for example.
First of all, Abdul, we listen.
Yeah, now
You can make a PDF and you can fabricate and you can lie as much you want. Listen. So Mary, she got pregnant by the power of the Holy Spirit, not the Holy Spirit have sex with her. So Mary, she cannot have a son. The Bible and the Quran. You see, you are even going against your religion just to make a false argument. Even your Quran.
Because your teacher is running from.
Okay, hold on. You just mentioned something. It's in fact, it's in your religion. Is it true, according to your religion, that Mary?
Can you concede that
Jibreel, he made Mary horny. Is that true? And then he moved the seed inside.
Can you concede that the Catholic Church says that Mary was actually having intercourse with Gabriel?
Get out of here, son of Muta. You see, because we smashed him, it turned to be that Allah never made Adam. It was two people. Allah, he's just a kid. He made a fashion of mud. And it turned to be that Jibreel is the one who made Adam. He gave soul to Adam. He is the one who breathed. And then the same story appear in the case of Mary. According to the Quran, the Muslim, they say that the one who made Mary pregnant is Jibreel. And I can show the reference, not like you, potato. Not like you. So you Muslims are a bunch of potatoes. And when you try to insult my Lord saying, do your God have a penis? Well, your God don't have a penis. Yet he called himself he. He's a fake man. He's a fake male. If Allah is not a male, neither a female, why he call himself he? Fake. In the whole Quran, he keeps saying he. Look how many he here he said. He. Okay, but you are not he. So Allah, he preferred to call himself as a male because he don't feel comfortable to tell the truth that he is a transgender. He have 3 holes, not 2. Either Allah is a male and he say he is a he, or he is not a male and then he should not say he say I. What's wrong with I? And then Allah, the stupid Allah, he confirmed that he cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend. But you don't have a penis. And if Allah is God, why even he need a wife? If Mary, she gave birth to a son without a husband. And this is even in the Quran. So is it possible that Allah can make Mary have a son without a father, but he himself cannot make himself have a son without a wife? Is it possible that he have power for Mary, but he have no power for himself? Like what happened? Allah fall from the chair and he lost his ability and he became disabled. So now he is in a wheelchair. And since then his penis is not functioning. A true God, he do not need to have a wife in order to have a son. And Christianity and the stupid Quran, which is copying the story of Mary from the Bible, say clearly that Mary, she was a virgin, and that's why Jesus have no father, except his father in heaven. No earthly father. Mary is a virgin. And when you lied, you coward, saying that Mary, according to the Bible or according to the Catholic, they believe that Mary, she have sex with the Holy Spirit, everybody will spit on you. And this is why I put you down from the stage. You are filthy. When you want to debate somebody, debate about what they believe. Don't fabricate things to win an argument, you coward. Very filthy cowards. And he complained, I'm not letting him talk. I did not unmute you. But you decide to insult Mary. And you decide to lie. I can go right now. He said Catholic Chaldean. Okay. All right. Let us do this. I will ask even the stupid AI to give me the answer, just to show everybody they are a scumbag. All right. Any one of you, all of you, you can do the same. You do not, like maybe you don't trust what I'm saying. You can go right now, go to Google, open your Google, and ask, was Mary a virgin according to the Catholic Chaldean Church? The answer, yes. You are a big fat liar like your prophet. Do you see why we don't respect Muslims? I will never respect a Muslim. This is my question. Was Mary a virgin? Like I'm typing it wrong here, typing it fast, virgin. All right. Yes. According to the Chaldean Catholic Church, Mary was a virgin before and during and after the birth of Jesus. before and during and after the birth of Jesus. You are a big fat liar. Anyone who trusts a Muslim about what he say, he is a fool. But we got some information from him, very helpful. Allah don't have a penis, yet he claimed to be he. So he lied. Allah, he preferred to call he, but he is not he. Allah, he lies saying he cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend, but yet he don't even have a penis yet. So is he a lesbian? He lie again saying he cannot have a son unless he have a girlfriend, which means he cannot be God. And he is not a male anyway. So it was a false statement from false God who cannot present himself. Allah, aka Muhammad, is fabricating a verse saying why Allah don't have a son, giving us a false statement that Allah, he need a woman in order to have a son. But we know that the second we say someone is God, we mean that he is almighty, and almighty do not need what we need. This is why the God of the Christians do not need a wife in order to have a son. The Son of God exists before Mary's exists. The birth of Jesus is not when Jesus came to existence. If we go to the Bible, we see Jesus said it clearly. That he exists with the Father before the world was. So a Muslim, when he try to defend Islam, he make poo-poo. Literally.
John 17. These words spake Jesus, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom thou hast sent. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was.
Before the world was. Before Mary and David and Abraham. This is why Jesus says, before Abraham, I am. So a stupid Abdul, as usual, they never respected Jesus. They claim that Jesus for them is a prophet. In fact, Jesus is their enemy. And the Bible confirmed to us that Muhammad and his followers are the enemies. How we know? The Bible makes it so clear that who is the Antichrist is the one who denied the Son and the Father. And Islam denied the Son and denied the Father. As simple as that. So if there is a scumbag, he claimed to be a priest, as those we see them in this webpage here. They brought you someone is a Protestant like this guy, scumbag, liar, you know, this guy.
I remember the first time I took an imam, dear.
A big fat liar. He is from the Protestant church, trying to promote Islam. They bring you other one, he is a Catholic.
All I wanted was a haircut.
Shut up. This is a Catholic.
Who do they say that I am? That is a question that Jesus posed to his disciples, and the answers they are.
She is a professor in philosophy and she is a Catholic. And now, what does the Catholic nun think about Muslims, Jesus? Catholic nun, she thinks Jesus is a Muslim? You see, there's always a Judah in every church. Muhammad, the scumbag who killed Christians, who killed the Jews, who raped Christian women, who raped Jewish women, who raped children, those people, they betray Jesus and they are for sale. Do we have any Muhammadan? But we are grateful that he agreed that he is God. He could not create Adam by himself. He borrowed life from Jibreel. What a hilarious cult. Allah, he borrowed life from Jibreel so he can create Adam. And the funny, he said to me that Adam created from Adam. I said to him, what Adam? He said, nothing. Oops. And what make it more funny and stupid in the Quran, that Allah, he say that Adam and Jesus are the same. How? Allah, he said to both, one by one, be and they were. But then when we read the Quran, we find that Allah neither created Adam by saying be, neither created Isa by saying be. You see, the Quran says, if this book made by other than Allah, you shall find in it a lot of contradiction. And this is what we see in the Quran. Do we have any Muhammadan? Any Muhammadan would like to join us? It takes you 2 seconds to find that the Quran cannot be the book of even fake God. I mean, come on. Even Satan, if he wrote a book, he will come with way smarter than book. This cannot be even written by Satan. I don't think Satan is so stupid. But we believe that all lies is coming from Satan anyway. But obviously the one who came with the Quran is an idiot, and he is stupid. Because neither Adam, neither Isa, aka Jesus, as Muhammad claimed, they were created by be. Allah, he made mud, he fashioned the mud. It took him 40 years just to dry the mud. Took him how long? 40 years just to dry the mud. And even Shaitan, he went inside the anus of Adam, and he came out from his mouth. And the angels, they were afraid of Adam because he was standing as a mud in the middle. So Shaitan told them, don't worry, he's empty, he's hollow. I just entered from his anus and came out from his nose. Is that true, Muslims? So if to dry Adam, it took Allah 40 years. How this verse can be accurate? Do we have any Muhammadan? Huh? And by the way, according to Muhammad, Eve, first son, is not created by Allah. Do you know? The first son of Adam and Eve, what is his name? Ask the Muslim, what is the name of the son of Adam and Eve? You will see how stupid this religion is. According to Muhammad, Each time Adam, his wife, she going to deliver a baby, the baby died. Adam, he prayed to Allah, asking him not to let him die. Allah could not make him deliver the baby safe. Shaitan came to Eve, according to Muhammad. And she called, and she told her, call your son Abdul Harith. Harith is one of the names of Shaitan. And he will live. And this is how Eve, she got her first son. Her first son, his name, Abdul Shaitan, the slave of Shaitan. Abdul of Shaitan. This is what Muhammad said. And we don't make things up. We show reference and proofs. Do you see it, Abdul? The Prophet of Allah said, when Hawa, which means Eve, became pregnant, Iblis came to her, and her children would not live after birth. So she gave birth to a dead child each time she gave birth. So he said, name him Abdul Harith. Name him Abdul al-Harith, the slave of Shaitan. So she named him Abdul al-Harith, and he lived. That means Muhammad is descendant from Shaitan. Muhammad is making poo-poo. Have you ever heard of Muhammad speaking without making poo-poo? So Allah could not make Eve and Adam have a son. Shaitan can. Are we lying, Muslims? Lord have mercy. So who is Muhammad? We cannot find any information about Muhammad in the Quran. Can you believe it? Nowhere in the Quran it says who is this guy. Who is his father? His mother? His uncle? Where is he from? It mentioned that Allah, he sent him to Mecca, but not necessarily to be from Mecca if you are sent to Mecca. In fact, nobody knows where is Mecca. There's no record of a city or town or village called Mecca go back to the 6th century. We cannot find any historian. The only books you find is Muslims speaking about Mecca. Nobody can find Mecca. Any Muhammadan? And you know, funny, when a Muslim, he tried to, he think he insulted us now. Like your God have a penis? Isn't it your stupid God in the Quran copy the Old Testament saying that Adam was created in Allah image? Is that your book? Let me show you some of the fictions and the stupidity of Muhammad. Allah has, the exalted, the glorious, created Adam in his image. Do you see the word his? Why it is capital letter? Because it goes back to Allah. And this is copied from the Old Testament. God created Adam in his image, exactly word by word. Now Muhammad, he add his own fictions and his own spice. So Adam was 60 cubits tall. Hey Muslims, if Adam was 60 cubits tall, how big his penis was? 10 meters? And how we shrunk like this? Can we find one bone of one human being? He is 60 meters tall. Huh? How big his poop? How big the chicken at that time? So like Adam, in order to eat, what he have to hunt for? How many eggs he need to have one breakfast? Somebody is 60 meters tall. Muhammad, a fairy tale storyteller. We cannot find who is he. We cannot find where he's born. We cannot find who is his father. All those books about him written hundreds of years after he died. Now Muhammad, he have supreme knowledge appear in both the books of Shia and the books of Sunni. As an example, not limited. In the books of Shia, Muhammad, he told his followers information nobody knows except the God of the Hindus. You know, the Hindus believe in reincarnation. So if you were a bad person, you will come back to life in a lower creature. If you were a good person, you will come back to life in higher creature. So look what Muhammad told them. The elephant cursed by Allah, and he made him elephant. He was what? He was a king who fornicate. From a king to an elephant. And by the way, Darwin scumbag agree with Darwin Muhammad. If you go to the Sunni books, you will find the same stories, by the way. Like the Muslim Sunni, they claim that their books is better. The wolf, the same. He was a human, but he was an Arab pimp, and Allah cursed him and make him a wolf. Pimp, and rotate. Tomorrow, guys, next time, I bet you, want to bet? Next time Andrew Tate, he make a video, you will see that he became a wolf. It turned to be that the first pimp in history was an Arab. I'm not sure why I'm not surprised. The fox was an Arab woman and she is a whore. She cheated her husband, so Allah, he cursed her and make her a fox. You know, I mean, why we have a court? Why Muslims you have a court? Anyone he fornicate, Allah will make him an elephant. So second day, walk in the street, you will find the street of Muslims full of elephants. The whole country will become elephants. I mean, all of you are fornicators and thieves and liars and cheaters. We should have 0 Arab in Arabian countries, if those stories are true. So the fox was a woman who cheated on her husband. Shame on you. What about the Pat? The Pat man. The Pat man is real. He was a man. He stole from people dates. The fruit of the palm tree. You see what happened to you when you steal dates? Muhammad, he stole women, he stole children, he kidnapped them, he raped them. Allah did not make him a Pat man. The apes and the pigs were from the people of Bani Israel. They are Jews. Monkeys and pigs, those they used to be Jews. True story. What happened? How those Jews become ape? They broke the Sabbath. And this is a story mentioned in the Quran. True story. I mean, in Israel right now, there's people, they have festival for homosexual. So Allah in the Quran, He made the Jews pigs and monkeys for fishing on Saturday. And He will not make the Jews pigs and monkeys for doing homosexual festival? Huh? You see how easy to debunk and smash the garbage of Muhammad? Who in the world want to believe this garbage? People, they broke the Sabbath. Allah made them pigs and monkeys. What about somebody who raped a child? Like Muhammad. You cannot make him a monkey twice. He's a monkey already. Do we have any Muhammadan? And you will see when you put a Muslim in the corner, he tried to escape the topic and he tried to talk about something else. So I did corner him, smash him about Allah and His creation, and right away he says, "You God have a penis." He's just trying to escape, trying to open a new topic. But when he opened a new topic, it didn't work fine for him. He thought I would say, no, so what? My God, He came as a man, but still He is holy. He never killed, He never fornicate, He never cheat, He never did anything wrong. So He came as a perfect man, but still He is the perfect God. He was holy before, He is holy after. Nothing changed. They think they can downgrade Jesus by saying, "Oh, your God have a penis." And then we find that Jibreel, which the Muslim they call him the Holy Spirit, insulting him, he came with the penis. Do we have any Muslim would like to join us?
Hey, how's it going, CP?
I'm fine.
I'm not a Muslim, and since there is a shortage of Abduls, I thought I was gonna occupy the stage for a couple of minutes, if that's okay.
All right.
I appreciate your input on politics, right, of the Middle East, and just political discussions. And I was wondering to get your take on this question. So basically, with Iran regime, let's say that the Iranian regime is going to collapse in a distant future, near future, for whatever reason, right? It will collapse, which is going to be a good thing, right, for Iranian people and, for multiple other peoples in the region. But don't you think that it's going to result in, let's say, in the uplift of the Sunni spirit in the region and worldwide, and it will allow Sunnis to, gather more resources and become united to go after whoever's left, because they're going to have, let's say, one less enemy, right? And Iran has been kind of holding them back for decades. Do you think that's a plausible scenario where it will result in, Sunnis becoming more united and more dangerous, essentially,
No.
to whoever's left?
The Muslims, they could not.
Israel, Christians.
Yeah, the Muslims, they could not be united in the time of Muhammad. So how they will be united now? Secondly, it's the opposite. If you have an enemy and he's a threat to you, that will make you united because you feel that you are insecure. But if the enemy is gone, then the unity will go with it too, because the reason to the unity is not exist. For Muslim, when you say Muslim Sunni, there's no such a thing. Muslims are hundreds of sects and they hate each other. Like if you ask, if you go to YouTube right now, type Salafi. The Salafi they call Sufi not Muslims. The Sufi they consider Salafi are fake Muslims. The Shia are not Muslim. The Duruz are not Muslim. The Ismailiyya are not Muslims. Like Turkey and Egypt and Kadarov are Sufi. So what is left? So there is nothing is called really unity. It's impossible because simply Islam is divided to the bomb. In the time of Uthman, they killed Uthman. They refused to bury Uthman. Aisha took an army to kill Ali. Aisha, she is divided the Muslims. Muslims are divided since the beginning, and they will never be united. In the top of that, if Iran collapses as a Shia regime, Iran then will become the Persian regime. And the Arab, they hate the Persian anyway. So the enmity is going to be always there, no matter who is going to be there. They are Shia, they are Persian, it doesn't matter. They fear the Persian. The whole idea, actually, the Shia Iran, they use religion to establish the Persian Empire again. So in the appearance, they are Shia, and the same as the communists, they use the communist as an idea to unite forces from many countries, from many ethnic. However, still they are going to be the leaders. So they will let you join the communists, but you will never be the leader of the communists. They will be the communist leaders. The Iranian, always they wanted to be the Persian Empire. Nothing changed. Like now Iran, the Shia, which should not care for calling the Persian Gulf the Persian Gulf, they fight with any country. Don't call it the Persian Gulf. So why they care? Because they are Persian. At the end of the day, they are Persian. So the enmity will never stop. It is impossible. They fear each other. And Iran, the Arab have to fear Iran. Because Iran is united as a nation way better than the Arab. The Arab, they are very much divided. They are not even from one. The Arab is not an ethnic anyway. So Yemeni is not the same. They are divided. Yemen, there's many sects, many religions, many groups. They call themselves Muslims. Al-Qaeda versus ISIS. ISIS want to kill Al-Qaeda. Muslim Brotherhood versus liberals, Muslims. So the division, it is a must, and it's impossible to be united. In fact, the reason for all the garbage we see of Muslim Sunni today is Iran. When the Muslim Sunni, they were buried. Islam is buried. But when they saw that Iran was able to establish a religious regime, that raised the hope for the Muslim Sunni. If the Shia can do it, why we cannot do it? In fact, the Muslim Brotherhood organization, the first office of it was funded by Iran, by the Shia, because they said to themselves, we cannot convert them, but we can control them. And this is why Iran invested heavily in Hamas. So Iran, the Persian, are way smarter than the Arab, as always. This is not new. Persia, one day they used to stood against Rome. So they are not an easy cookie to eat. So they extended their fingers and their arms like an octopus all over the Middle East, because simply they knew that the Muslim Sunni are not Muslims. They are for sale. They worship money. Whoever pay, we obey. And when Iran pay, they obey. So suddenly you find Hamas forgetting about Iran being a Shia, they insult Aisha and Abu Bakr. They don't care no more because they are the one who pay for their salary. So Muslims, Sunni, they are not really exist, but this is how they call themselves as a group. They are people for sale, and they are never been loyal to their faith. They are always betray each other, and they kill each other. I hope I answered you.
Yeah, that's a great answer. If I can ask a couple more questions, or
we want to focus in Muhammad, not in politics. Sorry, you know, like this isn't. I want to finish.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Because you know, I mean, politics is never end, and the garbage of the Middle East involve always with the religion of Islam, and this religion bring corruption and blood and betrayal. If two Shia are talking to each other, they will say to each other, don't practice taqiyya with me. Why they say that? Because Islam teaches them to lie. He have the right to lie to you, legally, officially. They believe that lying is the shield of faith. So if lying is their shield, how their politics will work? They don't trust each other. You see, when Israel was able to, let me show you. The Iranian regime established a department of anti-Mossad. Mossad is the intelligence department of Israel. So they establish an agency, and their job is to go after any spy or anyone who betray the regime, and he sent information to Israel. Guess what? It turned to be that the head of this agency was a Mossad. This is telling you that those countries are screwed up. If the head of the agency, which is counter agency for the Mossad, is a Mossad, who's left? That's why the Israeli, they can kill anybody in Iran. I mean, the guy Haniya, he was inside the Revolutionary Guard camp. They put a bomb for him in his bedroom. How they can put it there? How Israel was able to sell Hezbollah walkie-talkie and pagers? The answer is very simple. Muslims, they always betray each other. They are money worshippers. They worship dollar. Who is the one who delivered Osama bin Laden? A Muslim. Who is the one who delivered Saddam Hussein? A Muslim. Who is the one killed the caliphate? Muslims. All right. So we create an agency to countering Mossad, and then we find that half of the agencies are Mossad agents. Because the head of the agency, not only he hire agent, he hire and he recruit Mossad. And who is the one who's saying this? This is not Israel. This is the ex-president of Iran. He will not say that if this is not absolute confirmed information. People will laugh at him. Do we have any Muhammadan would like to join us? If you remember Ahmed Najat, he wanted to debate about religion. He speak about he want to debate about Christianity versus Islam. This guy, you know, he was trying like to be Zakir Naik of Iran. He is a president, but in the same time he want to be like a apologetic. He can debate. But for sure, if he come to speak to me, I will make him shish kebab in 2 seconds. And then he will try to find me Muhammad in the Song of Songs. And then we will find that Muhammad have a legs made of marbles. And there's a grass grow in his chest. Do we have any Muslim? Anyone? Any Muslim? If you are a Muslim, I would like to talk to Muslim. You know, there's many evidence that Islam is from the true God. I mean, come on. This is a very super intelligent. Like, actually, I have a proof that Muhammad was a rational thinker person. Yeah. In fact, he do it in a scientific way. Let me show you. Muhammad, he was able to find a story in history nobody knows about it, just by observing. Extreme intelligent person. Where is the story? Muhammad, he noticed something very unique. That rats, they are not animals. They are human. Abu Hurairah reported that rats is a result of a curse of Allah. Allah, he metamorphized, I'm not sure if saying the word correctly, of the Jews. And the proof of this, what? What is the proof? If you put a she milk for the goat, she milk of the, sorry, when you put the milk of the goat, place it before it, drink it. But if you put the milk of a camel, they don't drink it. So Muhammad, he thought about it. The Jews are forbidden to drink the milk of the camel. The rats are not drinking the milk of the camel. They must be originally Jews. How about that? Are you telling me that this is not a pure science? And this is the story of Muhammad, how he was able to recognize that rats originally they are a Jewish rabbi. And this is authentic. And here myself, I ask myself a different kind of a question. As long rats refuse to drink the camel milk, that means rats are more intelligent than Muslims. Camel milk is very harmful. Have a serious risk of bacteria. Muslims not only they drink the milk of the camel, they even eat the camel and drink their urine. So they consume 100% of the camel. So look at this. You see, animals, they can find out what is harmful better than a human. In fact, if you have some old food in the fridge and you are not sure if it's good to eat anymore, if you have a cat, give it to the cat. If the cat ate it, it's okay. If the cat refuses it, don't eat it. A dog will eat it. A cat will not. So the rats have a better intelligence than Muslims. And look how genius Muhammad is. So now I will think about it in a different way. If I give champagne to the donkey, he don't drink it. If I give it to the Muslims, they don't drink it. Donkey must be a Muslim. And originally he was a human, and Allah cursed him, make him a donkey. In fact, Muhammad, he mentioned even something more funny about that. He claimed that if a Muslim, he raised his head before the Imam, the leader of the prayer, Allah will make his head a head of a donkey. And this is telling you that the followers of Muhammad, they are a bunch of donkeys, to the point he can scare them by saying such a stupid thing. So he want them to not to raise their head, and he knew how naive they are. So he said to them, listen, if you raise your head before I finish, Allah will make your head the head of a donkey. And that explains a lot about Ahmadinejad. Any Muhammadan? No, even you can go to your stupid United Nations website, you will find they have a warning for camel milk. It's very risky. Me, myself, I drank camel milk, but I didn't know it was camel milk. I thought it's a normal milk, you know. They did not tell us that this is camel milk. But the second I drank it, it tastes so different. So different. But I said, okay, maybe, you know, in the desert, it tastes different. I mean, because the grass they eat is different. And right away, all of us, we have a severe diarrhea. We could not even drive our cars. We drank from here camel milk. Stop the car. What happened? Okay, I have to go too. You know. Not only a diarrhea, severe diarrhea. And you know, when you have such a thing, you feel exhausted because you don't get the benefit of the food you eat. So obviously we get infection from the milk. Maybe the Bedouin guy who, you know, drink it, he don't feel it because he's used to it. Maybe his body became immune to it. But, you know, for us, we right away get infection. Yeah. Let us see. We have somebody claim to be Abdul. Go ahead. Yeah, he left. Yeah, the funny, we are going for hunting, and then we spend 2 days. I mean, we can't do anything. And there's no pharmacy, there's no doctor. We are in the desert, in the middle of nowhere. We go like a group, many cars, and we take with us trucks, and the trucks behind them, they have like a big, huge, I don't know what they call it in English, like a barrel, you know, but for fuel. So, but massive, a huge one. Because in the desert there is no gas, there's no gas station, you know. So we take at least two of those for water too. And this is if you want to stay for many days. If you want to stay for 2 days, then don't go deep, so you can get back. And if you have like 4-wheel drives, the car will suck gas like a sink. Your gas will be burned so fast. Any Abdul? Let us see, has it. Are you a Muslim?
No.
Yes, has it. Are you a Muslim?
Yes.
All right. What do you like to say to us, has it, about Islam?
I want to say that I had a great day today drinking camel urine. And mashallah, inshallah, I'll drink another bottle by the end of the day.
Okay. Are you a Muslim now, or you are making fun?
No, no, I'm saying that can you provide to me any scientific evidence that camel urine is bad for you?
Okay. So you are a Muslim for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
The Adhan is going on right now if you want to hear it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, show me if any evidence camel urine is bad for you.
All right, all right. All right.
I've drinking camel urine myself before. There's no problem with it.
No problem. I will show you the milk. If the milk is bad, the urine will be more bad, right? So this is the milk. We start with the milk.
The milk, the milk, I never, no. We're talking about urine. The urine, I never
No
said
problem.
anything.
But your prophet, he drink camel milk, right? And he encouraged you to eat camel and to drink camel milk, correct?
Okay.
All right.
But it might be that there's a special type of...
Here it says that there is a big problem with the camel milk and people have to be careful. Do you see it? Warning.
Let me see.
Warning letter. What is the topic? Read the top. And this is USA Food and Drugs, FDA. And I can give
Camel milk, LLC, DBD, camel culture. Okay, small.
So they have a warning. Now, you said you drink camel urine, correct?
Yes.
Do you drink it from the camel penis or in a cup?
In a cup.
All right. Why not from the camel penis? Isn't the fresh is better?
I mean, it usually is packaged by the time I get it. It's not like I'll go out and get it.
So you pay for it. You pay for it. Okay. I want to ask you, what is urine contain? What is inside the urine?
I mean, it's almost chemically identical to sweat.
Identical to what?
It's almost chemically identical to sweat. Like, do you want me to just list out what
to
urine
sweat?
is composed of?
To sweat?
Yeah, urine and sweat are very, very similar.
Okay.
Similar
But you know the urine, like when I sweat, I don't smell so bad the same as urine, correct?
Depends how concentrated your sweat is. Like if all your sweat was concentrated into one thing, yeah, you would kind of smell just as bad.
True. Okay. Okay. Let us see. Here it says, I just searched. It did not take me long. I just searched. It says here that the World Organization warned against using camel urine. And here we go. I did not.
I mean, urine itself is about 95% water. I don't really see the issue.
The word
there's
health.
Could be some creatine.
The word health.
Have you ever?
The word health.
Work out
My friend, hold on. The World Health Organization, WHO, advised against drinking raw camel urine. Do you see it?
Okay, the thing is this is the same WHO that pushed the COVID nonsense, that pushed the vaccines.
No
problem.
problem.
You want me to trust it?
Okay, you said to me, give me a proof. So what I would do? I mean, I'm going to study the urine for you now. I'm not a doctor. So
yeah.
Okay, let us meet.
I've looked into this issue myself. Okay.
No problem.
You know how people take creatine before they go to the gym? They take creatine.
Listen, let us talk about something. Let us talk about something.
I'm asking you a question. Do you know what creatine is?
What is that?
Habibi, do you know what creatine is?
No, what is that?
It's a very big chemical people take before they go to the gym. It's like put in protein powder. People pour it in.
Why they take it?
Because it helps you build muscle mass, right? So inside your urine, actually, there's an extremely high concentration, both in like human urine and animal urine. There's an extremely high concentration of creatine.
All right.
And that's the main thing.
All right.
Right. The main thing is you're getting the creatine from this animal that allows you to build muscle mass, which turns you into a greater soldier, right?
But what we know, that thing you are drinking doesn't make you die, but if you drink camel urine, can cause death.
You're going to ask me to trust the WHO, COVID vaccine, Jews, Israel.
Okay, you know, so now the Israel, they withdraw from it. They are not part of it. You accuse Israel. It is you Muslims who is part of it, not the Israeli are not even part of this organization. They withdraw.
No, the Jews, they
They
control the
withdraw.
COVID vaccine.
Okay, let us me and you talk about something. Me and you, we can go for it because we don't have laboratory. I'm not a doctor, you're not a doctor. So let us go for something easier. Can you give me, as long we are talking about, you know, like you sound like you're expert with biology. Does the Quran teach biology or fictionology?
What it teaches is like a sort of esoteric type of biology that rejects Western medicine, right? So it teaches the biology that will be taught and understood in the future. Right now, science.
So do you agree?
Advanced,
do you agree with
so,
this? Do you agree with this verse?
And we made enough time to clot him. Of course, I agree with this verse.
But according to science, the sperm become a dead blood.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this happen yourself?
What do you mean?
How do you know? Why do you trust the science? Have you ever verified
Are you going
that the
to
sperm doesn't become a
are
sperm?
you going to accuse the Jews that they are the one behind saying that the semen fertilize the egg and then the egg multiply and then the multiply of the egg, which have the DNA from the semen, is going to make the baby? Is that what you will say now? The Jews are the one behind this?
I think it's partially Jews, right? Then it's also going to be the homosexuals, the communists,
right?
The Christians.
Did you talk
There's
about?
many people
Did you mention the word homosexual?
Homosexuals, yes.
Well, according to the Bible, the punishment of homosexual is death. Why in the Quran there is no punishment for homosexual?
Why does there need to be in the Quran?
You just accuse the Jews with homosexuality. It turned to be in your religion. It's encouraged homosexuality.
Tel Aviv, no, it does not encourage. Tel Aviv has the biggest pride parades if you look into it. Tel Aviv.
Yeah, and the customers are Muslims. And the customers are Muslims. Like Thailand have the biggest prostitution center, but the customers are Muslims. So what? You know, you're a prophet himself in his house used to have homosexual. Is that correct?
Show me.
Okay. You see my screen, right? Do you see my screen? What happened? Did he leave? Where he left? All right.
Sorry, I got bugged out. Let me read.
All right.
Okay.
Is that your prophet?
Okay, let's see.
Your prophet house?
Yeah, but that. Okay, and that while the prophet was with her, there was an effeminate man in the house. The effeminate man said to Salma's brother, Abdullah bin Abi Umayyah, if Allah were to make you conquer Taif tomorrow, I would recommend you take the daughters of Gilan in marriage, for she is so fat that she folds 4 folds of flesh when facing you and 8 when she turns her back. Therefore, the Prophet said to us, this effeminate man should not enter you anymore. Okay.
Do you know how long this guy, he spent his life coming to the house of Muhammad? Do you know what he is suggesting? He is suggesting to marry a male. This is not a female. To marry the daughter, this is a female. This is a female man, which means it's transgender. So he's saying, this is why he described how she looked like. It says, she show 4 folds of her flesh when she is facing you, and 8 when she turn her back. So she have a penis. So now this guy, he is speaking freely in the house of Muhammad. He keep coming every day. Now you're a prophet. He decide that this man does not come to the house anymore. So how bad the infestation of homosexuality in Mecca? In fact, every house of Mecca have homosexual. Read all those references. All those references. Every house. All. In fact, the Muslim, they came to the Caliphate, Uthman, and they complain that the leader of the prayer, the Imam, is a gay. So they came to complain. They says he is tempting us. So he said, well, when...
no question. Were there Jews in Mecca and Medina? Answer the question.
You want to blame the Jews for everything, right? Now this is a story is Jews, right? Osman is a Jew.
It's natural. it's a natural. No, number one, Uthman is not a Uthman rahimahullah was not a Jew. Do not make this accusation against him.
Listen. I am showing you reference coming not from the Jews, coming from you Muslim Sunni. So anything you say, it's like you are obsessed with the Jews. If something happened to you, you will blame the Jews, obviously. But what we see in the front of us, that we have an Imam, and this is Al-Bukhari, this is not Da'if Hadith. The Muslims, they came, and can you read for me the Hadith?
I went to Uthman ibn Affan while he was besieged, rahimahullah, and said to him, you are the chief of all the Muslims, the general, and what you see has befallen you. You are led in the salat by a group of al-fitan. You are afraid of being sinful in following him. Uthman said, rahimahullah, as-salat is the best of all deeds. So when the people do good deeds, do the same with them, and when they do bad deeds, avoid those bad deeds. Azuri said, in our opinion, one should not offer salat behind an effeminate person unless there is no alternative.
Okay, you are laughing, I'm laughing too. That's funny. So listen, your caliphate, he did not get upset that the leader of the prayer is a gay.
No, number one, there's no accusation. Okay, look, I have a cousin.
No, don't.
He's not gay.
Focus with
me.
No. You see, they are using the word effeminate because it's speaking about a mukhannath. Mukhannath is a gay.
Prove this.
It's in the front of you, this word, Arabic.
Okay, let me highlight the word.
All right. Here we go. You see it?
Okay, put this into Google.
Okay. You Google, I am an Arab.
Aren't you an Indian?
You are an Arab? If you're an Arab, open and see. So what the problem? Why your prophet is kicking them out from the house? I show you the first hadith, you did not complain. I showed you the same word, mukhannath. And you agree this is about a gay. Now suddenly
I'm saying that it's possible he's talking about a group of highly
listen.
Jews that lived in Arabia.
Actually here, what Jews? Those are Muslims. They are praying in the mosque. And here you will notice that the Muslims who they are complaining, they are more hypocrite than the caliphate, because how the guy is tempting them. He is causing fitna. He is causing fitna. A trial, affliction, etc. So a man, he have a nice round butt, he bent in the front of you. How that is tempting the Muslims unless all of them they are a bunch of gays? How that can tempt me? Let us say there's a guy, I went to pray somewhere, and there's a gay, he entered the church. What I can do? And he is in the front of me. What do you mean Allah? Listen,
I don't know.
No, it says they are tempted. He is causing fitna, affliction, etc. All of this because he did not do anything. He did not sleep with them. He did not get naked. He is a gay. So why they are tempted?
I don't know.
No, you see, you say to me, Allahu A'lam. This is not the answer. Come on. I mean, come on. Why you will be tempted? A man will be tempted by a woman. The only one will
I don't know.
A man will be tempted. But do you mean you don't know? A man will be tempted by a woman or by a man, according to you yourself. Or you get tempted by a woman or a man?
Woman.
Why you are saying it with a shallow, shy word? Sound maybe you are gay yourself?
No.
Because you did not say a woman. You said woman. You know. So
I'm saying I don't want to speak negatively about the Sahaba. I don't want to.
You see. So now those are the companion of their prophet. They are gays. Because if they are not,
no.
Why the caliphate? Like listen. If you ask those Christians right now we have in this time, because there's a lot of freedom, there's some they claim to be Christian, they have a gay priest. There is. But we don't consider them Christians. Ask anyone. But here, this is the caliphate. This is not 2,000 years after.
Pope Francis is gay. This is well known.
You can say whatever you want. There's no proof of such a thing. This is a fabrication. I can say he's...
Okay, I show you evidence Pope Francis is gay right now.
Okay, show me evidence. You slept with him?
Okay.
Did you sleep with him?
No.
How you know?
The Jew.
The Jews, they sleep with him?
It's possible. It's possible that some of them were Jews. But,
a second ago, you don't trust what the Jews says. A second ago, after you trust what the Jews says. Come on, Abdul, listen. Focus with me.
Okay.
No, listen.
My name is not Abdul, by the way.
You are Abdul. Every Muslim is Abdul. I can show from the Quran. So listen. Why the caliphate in the time of Muhammad? Muhammad just died. He became the caliphate. Why he is allowing a gay to be the leader of the prayer, and how in the world the companion of Muhammad, those are the disciples of Muhammad, getting tempted by a man.
Okay, here I'm showing you proof from your own sources. I show you Pope Francis is gay.
From my own sources.
From your own sources.
My own sources.
I DM you. I DM them.
My own sources. What is the sources?
I sent you a DM. I sent you a DM.
No, send it here in the chat. I want everybody to see.
No, I'm muted. I can't.
I don't look at the, send it here if you have seen anything. My friend, listen.
I'm muted.
Listen. For the sake of argument, let us say he is a gay, he is a prostitute, he is a whore. He is, at the end of the day, he is nobody. Your prophet was a gay. Do you want me to show you?
Proof. This is slander.
Your prophet, do he pee like a woman?
Yes.
Why?
Because that was what was comfortable to him. What's the issue?
No.
Okay, so why did he do it?
Because he's a woman.
Proof. By the way.
Why any man will pee like a woman?
Sometimes I do.
Okay. You do?
Sometimes, yes, it's sunnah.
Because you follow Muhammad now, so you became a woman. Okay. Did Muhammad say that he never received Quran until he wear the clothes of Aisha?
What's the issue with this?
Why a man he wear women clothing?
What's the problem?
Isn't it this is what they call a cross-dresser?
No. Cross-dressing is when it's not socially acceptable.
Is that acceptable?
In ancient Arabian times, yeah, sure.
Oh, so that's what they are saying. They are a bunch of gays. That's why they accept this. Guys,
no.
If there is a verse,
only Jews are
hold
gay.
on.
Only Jews are gay.
Guys, if there is a verse in the Bible says that a man who dressed like a woman is doomed. Can somebody help me? Here you see, you are talking about old culture. We are going back in thousands of years. You will see that the Bible says it clearly that a man who dressed like a woman, he is doomed, and a woman who dressed like a man is doomed. According to you, you're a prophet. He received Quran when he wear a woman clothing.
The thing is, okay, let's say you have a hat, okay, and you have a hat, and you give this hat to your wife. Is your wife now cross-dressed?
We are not talking about the hat. We are talking about the clothes, a dress. What hat?
Okay, maybe it was just like a toga or something like that. What's the problem?
No, it says thawb. Thawb is not. Thawb is a thawb. And why he received? And why he received Quran only when he wear women clothing?
Maybe just that clothing was at such a high level that it raised his level even higher.
So when Muhammad wear Victoria's Secret, Allah send him Quran. If you don't wear Victoria's Secret, Allah don't send him Quran.
What's the problem? Look, that clothing raises his level to like the highest level possible. What's the problem?
So if a man he dressed like a woman, that will raise his level according to Muslims?
Maybe it's just that it was Aisha's clothes. Rahimullah.
I know, like why Aisha clothes? Like he wanna be to Aisha? Is your prophet?
No, because maybe this was Allah Subhanahu wa Taala Azza wa Jal's way of showing that a wafid what a high level Aisha was.
Man, so if Aisha wear a bra, Allah will tell Muhammad to wear the bra of Aisha because that will show you how high Aisha is.
It's possible.
And is it true that your prophet used to put makeup?
No.
As I know, he put eyeliner.
Okay, show me. Oh, eyeliner, what's the problem with it? This is very popular in the Arabian Peninsula. Men do it all the time.
Why he do it? You want to be pretty? Okay, what about your prophet? Men in the Middle East, if you claim to be Middle Eastern.
I'm not Middle Eastern.
Okay. A'udhu billah. Why? Are we bad?
No, if I told you I'm not Arab. If I was not Arab from the Middle East, I'd have to
because remember
Allah curse the Kurds.
You are a Kurd?
No, I said if I was not Arab from the Middle East, I told you before I'm not Arab. I would have to be a filthy Kurd, and may Allah curse the Kurds.
May Allah curse the Kurd. Why?
They're very satanic, demonic people. They live in the mountains and they practice sorcery.
Ah, the Kurd. So what his name Salahuddin is? May Allah curse him?
No, he was not a Kurd. And also he was
No.
one of the Ash'ariya.
No, he was a
May Allah
Kurd.
curse the Ash'ariya.
He was a Kurd.
He was also an Ash'ari. May Allah curse him.
He was a Kurd.
He was an Ash'ari.
All the Kurd are Muslims and Ash'ari, most of them anyway.
Yeah, they're Ash'aris, they're kuffar.
But okay, but Salahuddin is good or bad?
I would say that he conquered land, and he made all the people that he conquered Ash'ariya, which is kufr.
Okay, he's a kafir. Are you Ash'ari yourself?
No, Mathari. Alhamdulillah.
You are what, Ja'fari?
No, I'm Athari.
Athari.
Salafi.
You are a Salafi. Okay. Well, you know what? As long you are a Salafi, do you put makeup yourself like Muhammad?
Do I wear eyeliner? No, this is not common in my culture.
Why? You care for the culture, not for what Muhammad said?
I mean, it's just not common. Let's say I do what's normal. I don't want to be too abnormal, you know?
I see. You know, as long you are a Salafi, and Salafi is someone who follow the previous generation from the time of Muhammad, correct?
Yes.
All right. What do you follow of them?
Which scholars do I follow?
No, what do you follow of them?
I mean, I have a beard. I study the books of the major Salafi thinkers, Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah.
Do you do? Are you circumcised?
Yes.
Why Muhammad was not circumcised?
He was born in the age of Jahiliyyah.
So what?
And his parents were both kuffar.
What? So what does have to do?
His parents were both kuffar.
Okay, Abraham, he was born with the pagan people, his people. Why he was circumcised?
Some cultures have that tradition. Some pagan cultures have that tradition.
So this is not from Allah. This is a tradition. You are copying the Jews.
No, I mean some of their traditions originated naturally, and some of them came from God.
No.
The ones that came from
Abraham,
Allah,
according to your prophet, Abraham, after he found out about Allah, he grabbed an ox and he cut his penis.
Okay.
He was 80 years old.
Okay.
So why your prophet did not use an ox and cut his penis?
He wasn't told to.
What do you mean? So Allah told him to tell the Muslim to do circumcision, but he himself is the last one to do it?
Yeah, I mean, there's many distinctions in jurisprudence between how Muhammad ﷺ is supposed to behave and how the Muslims generally have to.
But you remember I told you, obviously, Muhammad is a woman. This is why he have nothing to cut. Muhammad, he have all those women. Okay, Muhammad have all those women in his bedrooms. He could not have one baby. Why?
It's possible that basically for him, you know, what's the reason for circumcision? It's so sex becomes less pleasurable. It's possible for him. Allah Azza wa Jal wanted to reward him.
I feel sorry for you. You don't enjoy sex no more, huh? Okay. But this is not the case here. This is about God and religion. Either Allah command you to do circumcise or you are copying the Jews.
There's nothing to do with it. We know whatever copy.
Where Allah command you to do circumcision? Can you show me?
I believe it's in the Quran somewhere or the Hadith, but I don't know exactly.
Can you show me where?
Okay, let me find for you. Oh, it's in the Hadith.
So not in the Quran.
It's in al-Bukhari.
So not in the Quran. So Muhammad, the Hadith written hundreds of years after Muhammad. How you know that this is from God?
Because we have chains of narration that go back to the Prophet.
All right. So what about circumcision for women in Islam?
Oh yeah, this is common. This is fard.
It's a fard, obligation.
Yes.
But according what I understand, that women, Muslim women, they cannot have orgasm because of that.
Yes.
Okay. Why you do that to your wife?
Because this is the words of Allah Azza wa Jal.
So when you have sex with your wife, she doesn't enjoy it. She lay down like a dead woman, dead body, and you have sex.
Yes.
And you don't feel guilty about that?
I mean, sometimes, but I mean, I enjoy it.
You enjoy it. Okay, I see. All right. I don't know really what to ask you, because it sounds very knowledgeable, and I'm afraid if I ask you something, you can maybe like get me busted. So I decide to ask you something very easy. Can you use Google?
Yes.
How many days does sperm live? Can you ask Google?
Okay, let's see. Days does sperm live? 3 to 5 days.
All right. Are you going to accuse the Jews behind the 5 days?
It's possible that the Jews, let's say, lie about science, because what they're trying to do is they have a conspiracy to set up a world global Zionist government. And right now they're trying to lie about science and basic facts in order to gaslight the United States, which they plan to use as a vehicle to conquer the entire world.
Okay.
Right? To sort of gaslight us into submission.
You know, you remind me of one of the members of Hamas. He was in jail for 11 years, and then they freed him, and then he found that his wife, she have 9 kids. Do you know what she did?
What did she do?
She blamed the Jews.
Let me explain something to you. Hamas, they're puppets of the Jews. This is well known.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a true story. You're Muslim, you blame the Jews. I mean, if you have kids one day, you will blame the Jews, because obviously you cannot do it. Read with me carefully. Allah Messenger, and he is the truthful. Look how truthful he is.
Let me read. I can read faster.
All right. Okay.
The messenger of Allah, and he is truthful to believe, narrated to us. Really, the creation of each one of you is brought together in his mother's womb for 40 days in the form of a nufta. Then he becomes an akla for a like period of time. Then a mugda for a like period of time. How do you say it? Mudgah for a like period of time. There he is sent to him the angel who blows his soul into him, and he's commanded with 4 matters: to write down his rizq, his lifespan, his actions, and whether he will be happy or unhappy, whether he will enter paradise. By the one other than in whom there is no deity, verily one of you performs the actions
let
of
us
the people of paradise.
stop here. Let's stop here. So according to your prophet, Allah will make the women collect sperm in her vagina, not womb, for 40 days. Google say maximum sperm can live for 5. Which you think, which one is saying the truth, you think?
I think the people of Medina were especially virile because they lived around the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's natural that gifts, such as in the reality, were bestowed upon them.
Oh, so you
it's
are
possible that
so the people of Medina, their semen can live for a long, long time, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any proof of that?
I'm saying that it's not like, let's say we know there are spiritual benefits to drinking the urine of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Do you
so
think?
It's natural
Do you think drinking camel urine affecting the life of the sperm, so the sperm lives so long?
It's possible.
Okay. Where do you get this information from? From the Jews?
No, this is something that wasn't revealed. I didn't read about this through any sort of knuckle. This is just pure akal.
Okay, because simply, I'm finding that a lot of information. Maybe actually, I have to agree with you. Your prophet used to copy the Jews. Don't you know that?
A'udhu billah, what are you talking about?
Okay, if you are praying to Allah in certain way, and a Jew he walk by and he say, "This is how we do it." Are you going to change the way you pray?
No.
Why no?
Why would I?
I'm asking you why no. I mean, you say why? What is it?
Because he's a kafir, and because he's a filthy Jew, which are identical to the Rawafid. May Allah curse them both.
Okay. Well, okay, so if you change it to the way the filthy Jew, as you said, that means you became filthy like the Jew, correct?
Yes.
All right. But this is what your prophet did. You're a prophet. He was praying, and a Jew, he walked by, and he said, this is how we do it. And your prophet right away, he changed. And you yourself, you said, you said, if you do change, you know, that means you became filthy.
Okay, show me. I don't believe you.
Okay. No problem.
Is this hadith?
Yeah, this is a hadith. Read
Is
it.
this hadith authentic? Is this hadith authentic?
It is authentic.
Which book is it? Abu Dawud. Can you show me?
In the book
can
of
you
the,
show me?
in the book of
no,
the
can
Jew,
you show me how other like how
in the book
like,
in the book of the Jews, chapter Jewish, number Juju. Go read it.
the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to stand up for a funeral until the corpse was placed in the grave. A learned Jew once passed him and said, "This is how we do it." The Prophet sat down and said, "Sit and act differently from them." This hadith says the opposite. It's saying that you should act differently from the Jews.
Exactly.
And you should sit down.
I ask you, listen, guys, isn't it me who asked him? If a Jew, he walked by and he said to you, this is how we do it, are you going to act differently? You said, no, I will keep doing the same. You said that.
No, I assumed what you meant is that I'll start
No,
to behave.
No. My question was clear. You said, I said, why you will not change? I said,
I thought you meant.
Are you going to change it? I said to you, are you going to change the way you do pray? This is my question. You said no. Why I will do that? I said, explain to me. You said, why I want to change because of a filthy Jew. He said what he said. He said to me. So now you're a prophet.
No,
you're a prophet.
This is not what I meant.
Jew. Listen. Here you notice something very important. Muhammad obviously is not a prophet because do he have the right to change the way to pray? Or
the Jew does not have the right to change the way to pray.
No, Muhammad, he changed. The Jews did not change. The Jew, he says, this is how we do it. What Muhammad, he said? Sit down, act differently. I mean, in the speed of light, he changed the way he prayed. Just because a Jew...
No, not because he prayed, how he's sitting.
No, this is a funeral prayer. It's a funeral prayer. It's a funeral prayer. So they used to...
Where does it say prayer?
Well, they are praying. They pray Al-Fatiha when they do, etc. So this is a...
I know.
This is the ceremony.
How do you know,
let us say... Okay,
how do you know this is during the prayer?
All right. When he stand in the funeral, is that from Allah or he is doing as he wish?
I don't know.
See? I thought you are Salafi, which means you do whatever Muhammad you do. You said to me, you pee like the Prophet too. Just because he pee, sitting, you sit and pee. So you do it blindly. You don't question. And now Muhammad... A Jew, he said to him, this is how we do it. What if the guy, what if Muhammad was pissing? And the Jew, he said to him, this is how we do it. Muhammad will stop pissing.
Are you singing like, this is how we do it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're singing?
Yeah, this is how we do it. Sit down, act differently. Isn't it? This is hilarious. This is a prophet of God.
I don't think this makes sense. I would do the same exact thing in this situation.
A second ago, you said no. He said they will not do the same as a filthy Jew. You said
because I missed. I thought you were saying I would. Act
why the Jew are
act.
filthy? Who is the one who kisses stones? The Jews or the Muslims?
Look, one second. I want to show you a book reference, but I need to be.
Don't. You know, I'm asking you. Who is the one who kisses stones and worships stones? The Jews or the Muslims? Do the Jews believe that if they kiss a stone, the stone will erase their sin? Or the Muslims?
Yes.
The Jews believe in that?
Yes.
I never heard of such a thing. Can you show me from the Torah?
They don't only take it from the Torah; they also have their Talmud.
In the Talmud it says if you kiss a stone, you will be forgiven.
Have you ever heard of the Al-Burak wall?
Yeah, because this is their temple, but they are not worshipping the wall.
They're prostrating to it. They're rocking back and forth.
They're
kissing it. They're making out.
This is the direction of the temple. They want to take their temple back. They want to build their temple. This is what is left of it. So this
no. They're doing
No,
They
no.
believe they're having. No, look, you know, brother
Okay,
Nathaniel.
okay, let me ask to make it simple. Let me make it simple. If somebody believe that if he kisses a stone, the stone will erase his sin, is he pagan or not? Be honest with me.
He's not pagan. No.
So what he is?
He's simply going and kissing a stone, knowing it forgives his sin. What's the issue?
So who's your God? The stone or Allah?
Allah.
So who
Allah.
is? But you said the stone forgive your sin.
One Christian friends, I want to say something to you. لعنة الله على الصحابة، لعنة الله على محمد، لعنة الله على عائشة، لعنة الله على عيسى، لعنة الله على يسوع، لعنة الله.
Potato. You start cursing. Potato, 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 potato. Potato. Do we have any Abdul? This is how we do it. Prophet of Allah, we should not change because the Jews, he just got me busted. Prophet of Allah, the Jews are watching you. How you know? Didn't you hear? What? He just said, this is how we do it. Prophet of Allah, what we should do? Sit down, act differently. What if the Jew, he walked by and Muhammad doing shit, and he said to him, this is how we do it. So Muhammad will shit standing? He will stop sitting when he's sitting down? This is how we do it. Huh? Obviously, Muhammad is a true prophet of God. He's a godly man. He have knowledge of everything. I mean, come on. People, they lie. Those Christians, they lie about Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was so amazing. And the funny is, Muhammad, he have a connection to Prosley, in case you do not know. You see, many of you maybe like martial art, like to watch boxing. I'm not really into those things, especially they call it sport, because I know that it's fake mostly, and sometimes even they pay you to lose. They pay the guy. Like we say, we'll give you $5 million, lose. Because we watch the bet. There's a gambling when the big game happening. So those with the mafia, who they are in control, when they see that their game, if this guy won, the gambler in him, they will win. That means they will lose a lot of money. So they force the guy to lose. They say to him, you have to lose. They whisper in his ear, you have to lose. That's it. Because the gambler are gambling on you. We need the money. And they will give you big money anyway. You will find the same story happened with Moses. I always thought about Moses as a prophet of God, etc. But I never thought about him that he played karate. Not karate, karate. Allah, he sent the angel of death to Moses. All right? Get out of here, Hazard. Go ahead. You're just a stupid kid. So Allah, he sent the angel of death to Moses. What would happen then? Well, he would die. No. Sorry. Moses, when the angel of death came to him, Moses, he said to him, what do you want? He said, Allah sent me to take your soul. Moses, he said to him, get it closer. Come here. Come. Look, come. Yeah, come. The angel, get it closer. Moses, he hit the angel of death, many so powerful martial art movement, he flipped on the air. He put his two fingers in his eyes, he plucked his eyes, he broke his arm, he hit his butt, he broke his balls. The angel, he came to Allah and he have tons of duct tape on his face. Allah said to him, where you been? He said, I went to Korea. Why you went to Korea? Oh Allah, I need like 1,000 plastic surgery for what happened to me. What happened to you? Oh Allah, can't you see? Look at my face. My eye is coming out. His eye knocked out. I mean, if the eye knocked out, can you imagine how severe the beating was? I mean, the angel of death, his butt became blue. Since then, actually, this angel, when he come to a Jew, he don't dare even to kill the Jews. He go to Hamas. You know? He said to himself, oh boy, I'm not going to go to the Jews. Those Jews, I go to them, they knock my eye, they kick my butt, they kick my ass, they have IDF, they have pager, they will give me a pager. And since then, there is a new song come in the market. It's called Oh Mommy, he gave me blue, he gave me a blue. Oh Mommy, my eye flew, my eye flew. Oh Mommy, what a wonderful story. I don't know how smart you are, but smart people have to believe in such a story. If you are intelligent, and only Muslims are intelligent, you have to believe that this is truth. So the angel of death, I killed the angel of death. And then the angel, he went to Allah. Allah took him to the surgery room. He fixed his eye, he fixed his butt, he fixed, you know. And then he said, okay, the guy didn't want to die. Okay, no problem. Go back to him. So he sent the angel again to him. Allah restored his eye in a proper place. I hope so. I mean, Muhammad is so good in details. In the proper place? What is that? I mean, isn't it enough to say he restored his eye? Now I know why Musa says, eye for an eye. Oh boy. I was thinking about it. You know, yesterday we talked about philosophy. The philosophy of Musa is so clear. Eye for an eye. The angel of death come to him. He took his eye. No kidding. You know, come here. What's your name? Angel of death. Angel of death, my ass, you idiot. And the angel, he went back to Allah. His tail is running between his legs. Since when a human being, he can stop the moment of his death and beat the angel of death? How you Muslims, how come Muhammad could not do that? Huh? Why when the angel of death, he came to Muhammad and he gave him poison, he did not knock his eye? Guys, why you are laughing? I warn you. I warn you. You know, you laugh at Muhammad, Allah will curse you. Look what happened. I will tell you, this is a true story. Once, a person who made fun of me, I swear by the shin of Allah, he woke up in the morning, he looked like me. Allah curse him. He went to the mirror, he looked, oh no, no way. Too late. So you make fun of Muhammad, Allah will punish you. And Allah's punishment is so severe. Look what happened to Joe Biden. I mean, look. Aren't you afraid Allah will make you so wise like Kamala Harris, the passage of time? I'm warning you. I'm just a warner. Unbelievable. Do we have any Abdul? Any Abdul? Who is Muhammad? There's nothing about Muhammad in the whole Quran. You find about Muhammad in books written hundreds of years after Muhammad. How in the world anyone can trust such a books? Anyone? Nobody? Are you guys having a good time? If you are here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. If you are subscribed already, don't forget to unsubscribe. Remember, why I say that? Eye for an eye. I subscribe to you, I unsubscribed from you. Eye for an eye. Muhammad, he heard that Musa says eye for an eye. So Muhammad is a genius. So he decided to practice it. So look what he said in the Quran. That's it. Musa says eye for an eye. So now I have to practice eye and eye. Okay. So look what the donkey he says. In the case of qisas, which means the law of punishment for a crime, it's prescribed for you. In the case of murder, free for free, slave for a slave, female for the female. So you kill my wife, I kill your wife. I don't kill you, I kill your wife. You kill my slave, I don't kill you, I kill your slave. And if you are black, you cannot kill a free white man. Black slave, Abd is a black slave. Al-abdu bil-abd, al-hurru bil-hurr, wal-abdu bil-abd, wal-untha bil-untha. This is what eye for an eye mean, Abdul? What kind of a genius Muhammad is? And then the Arab, they start laughing at him. They die laughing. So Muhammad, he says, okay, Allah told me this verse is abrogated. Have you ever heard of a God? I mean, this is the law of punishment for murder should not have changed for billions of years. Why? Was he was wrong? Absolutely. When he noticed that they start laughing at such a justice, how stupid it is. Any Abdul? CP, his laugh is like the wind in Windzil. What does that mean? Windzil? What Windzil mean? I don't know. I need to look for dictionary. I will ask Allah or Prophet Muhammad is all knowledgeable. He knows everything. All the knowledge in the world is coming from Allah and He is the Prophet. We can prove it. Science, psychology, physiology, biology, any geology, anything add G to it. You know? He knows everything, the guy. Allah and His Prophet knows best. He, Abdul, Prophet Muhammad said to one of the Abdul, do you know where the sun goes? The Abdul, he says, no. Allah and His Prophet knows best. Okay. So Muhammad now, he wanted to show him where the sun goes. And Muhammad told him where the sun goes. Oh boy. Look at the science. According to Muhammad, the sun moves every day from the east to the west. And then they do pray under the throne of Allah. And then before the morning, the sun asks Allah for permission. And then the sun, Allah, can I go back? Oh yeah, sure, go. The sun will keep doing this, going every day from the east to the west, prostrating under Allah's throne. asking for permission until one day. The son will ask for permission, but the son will not be given permission by Allah. Oh no. What happened? It is the day of judgment. So Allah will change the direction of the sun, and the sun will appear instead of the east from the west. And this is proven scientifically to be true. Ask Fifi. And you are telling me that Muhammad is not a prophet of Allah? For sure he is a prophet of Allah. Oh la la. Anyone from following God, oh la la? And look how the Muslims are pagan. They associate the knowledge of the God of Islam with Muhammad. So Allah and his messengers knows best. See? They claim that they are people of monotheism. But isn't it this is what they call in Arabic shirk, which means associating a person with God? So now Muhammad became equal to Allah. Allah and his apostle know best. Any Abdul from the religion of Allah? Anyone? No Allah? Not a single Allah? No Allah. Oh boy. We are out of Allah. Wind sail is the cloth on a sailing boat. Like you mean the fabric they have for the wind? Is that what you mean? Okay. I don't know if that is good or bad, but whatever it is, better than nothing. Any Abdul? You guys keep talking about my laugh, my voice. I don't know what to say. I should go mute. Once a woman, she asked me for direction, and I told her the direction. After I finished, she said, keep talking. I said, what? She said, you are done? I said, yeah. She said, oh, can you tell me more? I said, tell you more what? She said, I love your accent. Where are you from? I said, you are asking for direction or asking about me now? Can you talk more? Sit down, ask different, I mean, talk differently. Potato. Any Abdul? All right, look like we are out of Abdul. Well, I'm not going to keep you longer. I think we have a great time together today. I hope you guys you like what we do here. Share our videos. You know, it makes me more happy to see more of you. As you see, we don't have advertising, we don't have super chat, we don't have any of this. But it makes me more happy to see more people watching and learning. So view for us is not about money, advertising, super chat. We have no benefit of this, except sharing the truth, and the truth will set you free. So if you care to share the truth, feel free to download my videos, and you can have million view in your channel. No problem. I have no problem with that. I'm not here seeking business. I don't care for. I'm not from the super chat community. So I appreciate people when they make comment, give like, share, invite people to watch, to learn, because the whole purpose for us to be here is not to kill time, but to kill Muhammad. the devil. We are not here to kill time. Remember that. We are here to kill Muhammad, the filthy scumbag, even though he's dead. But he is the same as a wicked Satan. We have to fight him always. And the more we fight the devil, the more we save more souls. So more viewer, more knowledge, more immune system in the body of the community. So your children, your son, your wife, your husband will not be fooled by a liar Abdul. And the Lord told us always to examine the spirit. And he told us and he gave us a priceless guideline. From their fruits you shall know them. Muhammad, the fruit, is the most ugly. So if their master is the worst between mankind, you cannot even find one crime he did not commit, from a child molestation to rape, to killing, to stealing, to lying. Every crime in the world, he have done it. And he claimed that those crimes are a privilege for him. So he don't repent. In fact, he promote them and he claimed that they are privilege. So always remember, the God good and the good God, he will never send you a filthy man to lead to him. Good tree will give good fruits. Corrupt tree will give corrupt fruit. And if you want to know what Islam is about, go check their countries. In the West, they try to present themselves as a friendly and nice. Go to their countries and see how filthy it is. When we say filthy, not only about street are dirty, not only about men unzipping and pissing in the street in front of kids, not only that. The most wicked countries in the world where security is so unexist. They speak about the crimes in New York and Chicago. Go and let women walk alone in Muslim countries and see what will happen. Women need a guardian in Muslim countries because she is not walking between a human. When a woman need a guardian, you know how bad the society is. Otherwise, why I need a guardian if we are in a good society? What will happen to your sister if she walk alone? She will be raped. So we have to have a guardian. For Islam did not make them better, make them worse. Why do women have to cover themselves? You can wear decent clothes. Nobody's asking you to look like a whore, to dress like a whore. She covered herself and her face because women became a vagina, a target, a sexual object. She is not a human no more. This is why the filthy Muhammad, he said, the women advance in the image of Satan and she retreat in the image of Shaitan. This is how Muhammad, he see your mother and your sister and your daughter. There's no man who respects himself, he will say such a garbage. If the woman is Satan, well, you are born of Satan. And if woman is Satan, why you have tons of them in your home? Why Muhammad, he promised men a lot of women in heaven if they are Satan? Very filthy, trashy person. Scumbag. Again, from their fruits you shall know them. So I want to say thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. God is good, so is Jesus. And we are the crusade. See ya.